Hello guys and welcome back to the Little Scale Cars YouTube channel. Today in the review box we have the 2004 Mazda Miata from Hot Wheels. This is a new casting that was released in the 2023 Boulevard lineup. That was its first release, the first debut of the casting. So let's go ahead and take a closer look at this one and see if it is worth adding to your collections. Alrighty, so getting things started with our casting, we'll take a quick look at our proportions. And as you can see, the proportions are very, very nice. It looks really, really good. We'll go ahead and pop the real-life car up in the top right-hand corner for you, just as a comparison. And then we will take a closer look at what we've got here. So all of our body lines on the car are done really, really well. Doors, door handles, all done really nicely. We do get mirrors on this casting, which is fantastic. Up front, all of these kind of like indentations for the lights are done really well. The intake area for the grill all looks really, really good. Body lines, they're simple, but they look nice. In the rear, once again, looking good. Interior, looking really, really good. Nicely detailed there. If we come up to the window section, this is all plastic. None of this is metal. This red trim is not a piece of metal at all. And then we have the all-metal base, since this is a premium release. And we can see that our axles are a little bit wide, which does give it kind of a stanced look. It's not terrible, but yeah. And that is probably one nitpick I would have with the casting, is that kind of stanced look. Moving into our paint and deco, so this is the Boulevard release, which at the time of this recording is still the only release of this casting. It is coming out again, but we got it in this nice candy apple red, metallic red, whatever you want to call it look, which looks phenomenal. It's got kind of this metal flake to it, which looks really, really nice. A couple hiccups with the paint. I do have something going on right here. And then the front on the hood, if you can kind of tell in this area here, has got some slight burn to it or something that has looking not so hot there, but overall not too shabby with the paint. And moving into our details, we actually have quite a lot of details, which is nice to see. So we do get our headlights up front, which look really, really good. They are just tampos. There's no plastic work done there. We do get a Mazda logo right there up front, which looks nice. We also get these kind of fog lights, running lights, whatever you want to call them down here. We get meshing inside the grille. You can kind of see that. There's even a little spot for a license plate there, I believe. And then we do get reflectors on both of these as well. As we make our way down the side, we get a reflector on both sides there as well. We also get that red trim that I mentioned earlier, which, you know, is not something that mainline or basic Hot Wheels ever get. So that really makes a look a lot nicer. As we make our way to the back, we get taillights once again, tampoed on very, very nicely. We get a Mazda logo here. We get the Mazda word written out, as well as, I believe this says Mazda Speed Miata. So that looks phenomenal. We even get a little license plate back here too. So overall, and there's our exhaust, forgot to mention that. Overall, the detailing work is pretty good, considering this is something from Hot Wheels. Moving into our roll test, it should be no surprise that a Hot Wheels model rolls very, very nicely. I went ahead and put this one on the scale, and it came out to be 45.05 grams. So despite the fact that it's kind of a small casting, it actually has some really good weight to it. Pros and cons time, getting started with our pros. The biggest pro for this release, in my opinion, is the casting itself. So if you missed out on Boulevard and you have to wait for this casting to be released elsewhere, you will be very happy to see that the casting is done really, really well. It has these newer kind of small wheels that Hot Wheels has been putting on a lot of more recent models, which helps with kind of that big wheel look that Hot Wheels sometimes has. And it really makes these smaller cars really, really look good. And then the other big pro is going to be the detailing. So we kind of talked about it already, but just the amount of detailing and then the actual execution of the detailing is really, really nice, and it looks absolutely incredible. So there is one big con with this release, and that is just simply it came out in the Boulevard line. I hate it when new castings are first unveiled in the Boulevard line, because Boulevard has absolutely awful distribution. I have not seen a Boulevard car on the pegs in probably 2 or 3 years now at this point. I'm not sure if it's distribution solely or if it's a scalper issue or what it is. I know the first year of Boulevard, I didn't have any trouble finding any of them. I mean, not even the Gasser or the Koenigsegg. I mean, I did have some issue finding the Koenigsegg at first, but I eventually did see 2 or 3 of them on the pegs at least. However, modern Boulevard for the past 2 or 3 years, I haven't seen a single one. So it's always a bummer when a new casting is released in Boulevard. Moving into some quick size comparisons, here we have it with some other Miatas of different generations that you might have in your collection, with the Hot Wheels 1st generation and the Matchbox, I think, 4th generation Miata. And here we have it with some other open-top sports cars you might own, with the Honda S2000 from Matchbox Moving Parts, and the Opel Speedster from Matchbox Basics. So with all that out of the way, it is now time to give my overall score. And I'm going to go ahead and give this one a 9.2 out of 10. And most of that deduction is just simply because I'm not crazy hype about a Miata. However, I did not have this generation of Miata. I don't think. I have the Johnny Lightning Miata. That casting is kind of odd, though, so I'm not entirely certain, just off the top of my head, what generation Miata that's supposed to be. Anyhow, though, this came out really, really nice. The casting itself is shaped really, really well. The paint job, this was the best color they could have gone with. So the actual execution of the release is really, really done, and the casting is brilliant too. I really wish that Hot Wheels could do something about the horrible distribution of Boulevard and make it more available, because if it really is a scalping issue, then if we just make it more available, then eventually the scalpers, supply and demand, if there's too much supply, there won't be as much demand for the scalpers to steal. I do think that if you can find this one for under $10, though, it's worth the pickup just to be able to have it. Otherwise, though, I would say, at least with the more recent Boulevard releases, they have also been getting released in, like, the Target 2-packs, or also they get a re-release in, like, a premium box set or something like that. So I would say just wait for this to be re-released in one of those if you need the red version here. Do not spend more than like 10 or 12 bucks max to try to track this one down. It's really not worth that much, but it is very, very nice, and I do still recommend it, especially if you're a Miata fan or a JDM fan in general. Alrighty guys, that is all I have for this review. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you leave a like, subscribe if you are new, and leave a comment telling me what your thoughts are on this particular model, and I will see you in the next video.